Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. This is No More Water. Fire next time. I was thinking about, if you notice, my subject is about Project 2025. I had never really weighed in about that very much, about Project 2025, very much. But, I don't know if many of you have read it or really looked into it. But if you really, move over some, if you really look into Project 2025, you will find that it's not hurting us as much as it is others. What it's mostly doing is bringing others to the point where we're at. It's making them experience some of the same things that we've been experiencing. If you notice, everything they're crying and complaining about and the things that's happening to them are things that has always happened to us. They're being profiled because of the color of their skin or the way they look. Don't that sound familiar? They're being roughed up by the police and hurt and beat over minor offenses. Don't that sound familiar? If they ask the police a question about why they're being detained, they're saying that they're not cooperating, they're not complying, so they get beaten. Well, at least they get beaten. Many black people were killed. The farmers are not getting the welfare they used to get, this which they call subsidies. It was our welfare. Now they're crying because they can't sell their crops. Well, the black farmers never got the welfare that they got. They're not crying. Everything that's happening to them are things that are already happening to, and has been happening to black people for 400 years. They're now saying that food stamps getting cut off. I thought it was just black people getting food stamps, just black people getting welfare. But it's not black people crying. We're used to things being given to us and then being taken away. We'll make do. I mean, isn't it something? Now you see all these other races of people, especially white people all over social media crying about how they're going to need their food stamps. I thought that was a black thing. I remember years ago, there was a white man, his family, they had come to take the children, and his family were malnourished. And they asked them and say, "Oh, why come you didn't go get any food stamps?" Well, I didn't want to seem like an N-word because they had made it seem like those food stamps and welfare was a black thing. You see, in the beginning, when welfare, most things that's instituted in this nation to benefit people is never made for black people. Black people may get in on it, but it's never made for black people. And that's why I speak about black people. Now, people of color, they were treated like honorary whites for a while. Until white people felt threatened by their numbers, they're not making babies. But they were treated like honorary whites for a while. So that's when I talk about black people. If they want, they can talk for themselves. But look, when welfare was first instituted, black people couldn't get it because you had to have paid into the tax base. And see, black people mostly had jobs as domestics, and were mostly on farm workers and were paid in cash. So most black people couldn't get welfare, most of them. And the one that was working, they then they weren't going to get it. So, well, all of them was working really for black people. Just about all black people worked back then. They just had the type of jobs where they weren't getting paid. They weren't paying into Social Security. They were being paid in cash, men and women. So then later, when black people started getting welfare, it became an evil thing. Then see, when white people got it was entitlement. It wasn't even called welfare. It was called entitlement. It wasn't called welfare until black people started getting it. Now, see, back then, everything was black and white. There was no people of color and all of that involved. And anything they saw black people getting benefits from, they didn't want it to be instituted, or they villainized it. So they made, remember back with Ronald Reagan talking about all the welfare queens and all. Now, you want to talk about welfare fraud? They're catching these white people getting multiple cards and getting rich off of food stamps and all. They say that most white people who on welfare and food stamps are middle class people. Now why are they on food getting welfare and food stamps? That's what you call welfare queens and kings. One white guy had 53 link cards on the SNAP benefits cards, because it's not called link card everywhere. I said EBT card. He had 53 of them in his name. Now, how in the world did he do that? Now, if there was a black man, they would have that all over the news. But see, the news media is not, they're very selective about what they're reporting now, because they're just about the state regime medias now. Fox is the main one, but the rest of them scared to print anything. You have to look around to find out about anything nowadays. But yeah, they're being brought down to our level, and they can't take it. That's why, when they come crying, black people, where the black people at, come help us. We're going to help you because you're going through what we've always been through, and you didn't help us. That's what you're talking about? No, we're not going for that. You didn't help us, we're not going to help. No, there may be some who want to help you, but that's on them. Yeah, it may be a few who want to help you, but that's on them. If they want to help you, I can't stop them. They want to, fine, but I'm not lifting a finger. And I hope most other black folks don't. If they want, like I said, if they want to, they have to do what they're convicted to do. But I'm convicted to leave you alone, like you left us alone. You got to find out like we did. Well, we didn't have to find out. It was just forced on us. I'm surprised we even where we're at now. When you look back through history and seeing how it was just, they made it almost impossible for us to do anything. That's why I'm surprised we're at now. They've done everything they could to keep us from advancing. And that's why they say the Democrats and Republicans don't make a difference. The Democrats did give black people some rights and some bills, and did institute some programs to help us. The Republicans didn't. A lot of people say, well, the Democrats, the KKK used to be in the Democratic Party. Well, that used to be there, not now. See, black people used to vote Republican. Did you know that? Like the black people who could vote were voting Republican until after Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And black people saw what the party that was helping them socially and economically, so they started voting Democratic, rather. That's the proper way to say it. And So I can't go by what used to be. All we know now is that the Republicans are doing things against us, and we do get a little bit of reprieve from the Democratic Party. And most of the black people, even the black people who are Republicans, has to speak against black people just to be Republicans. Don't that tell you something? What black Republican you know who speak up for black people? I don't know of any. So don't that tell you something? But we can't have pity for people who didn't have. Well, you can, but I can't. I can't have pity for people who didn't have pity for us. We was going through all this stuff all the time. Where were they at? They getting on some marches like a little hobby of theirs. You know, hollering Black Lives Matters and all. We appreciate them, but then a lot of them were agitators coming in, busting out windows on stores. Those weren't black people doing that. It was the Black Lives Matter right at the time of George Floyd, how he was a little bit more violent from the protests, more violence, because most of those weren't black protesters. When they ran into the police station in Minneapolis, ran the police out and burned it down, those weren't black people. Black people didn't protest like that. White people are not peaceful protesters. They'll do it for a while. You see, they were shooting at the protest when they took over Black Lives Matter. They just about took it over for us. We didn't do that much in Black Lives Matter. We may have been speakers, but out there protesting, it was mostly other people. So we had stopped protesting after Ferguson, really. People didn't even notice that. But what happened was, notice how violent it gotten? People getting killed. So now black people kind of lying low. Which I agree with. A lot of people don't. They don't say black people keep saying what black people need to do. I think we need to do just what we're doing. Unless they come up here and try to pull our people out of a black neighborhood where there's no immigrants, then we got to get them. I don't care who it is. Especially they try to pull these women and children in a van, unmarked van with a mask on. I don't care who they are. They're not taking them nowhere. You all need to do that too. Get your CCWs and all while you still can. If you can't get it, well, I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. I'm not advocating for somebody to go out here and do something. I'm talking about protection. We got a right to protect ourselves and our people from unlawful acts. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, I don't care who they are. If you commit an unlawful act against our people, going to grab them and haul them off somewhere, you're going to get dealt with by me. And I hope the rest of you do it too. Especially they don't let them grab these women and children. They run to me, where her man and where her people. I don't care who she is. She could be a crackhead. She could be a prostitute. She could be a homeless woman. They're not taking her nowhere if I can help it. But you know why? It's not about just the woman. When they do that, they're attacking our people. It's about race now. It's always been about race, really. But now the problem is, it's happening to these other people. And they don't know how to deal with it. We know how to deal with it. See, Project 2025, they took away the Bill of Rights. And they're trying to take away the voting rights and all. But you know what the problem with this Reconstruction is? The others just hurt us. This one's hurting everyone, including white people, including the MAGA people. The people you see all on the internet when they see them grabbing people, throwing them in vans. Good job, officers and all that. You just let them wait. Because these white people getting ready to get hit pretty hard. And I'm talking about middle and upper middle class people. They're getting ready to get hit hard. It's not affecting us that much because, like I said, we've been going through it all the time. So we're used to it. They're not. But they're going to find out. That's why they say, but yeah, some black people lost jobs, lost, I think they said it was 300,000 black women lost government jobs. But that's because, black women worked in the public government sector a lot. Most black women who made six-figure salaries worked for the government, some type of government agency. And like I said before, the government gives, the government takes away. Black men couldn't get a lot of government jobs. And I ain't glad he couldn't now. But yeah, I'd be great if he could now because see, black women were seen as a double minority, female and black. Because I remember when they was getting all those jobs, they were divorcing their husbands and making fun of black men. I can get a job and you can't. But still, I hope when all this is over that they get their jobs back. No matter how arrogant they were with it, I still hope they get their jobs back. I'm not saying all of them was that way. But I'm just saying they sort themselves out. When people talk about black men, they don't say some, not all. They just say black men. So people can sort themselves out. But look, we gotta look out for our people in this because we're not immigrants. And no immigrants are in your neighborhood. Don't let them come up in here bothering your people. See, up there in Chicago in that apartment, but they had people from Venezuela there. They dumped them off in Chicago, the black people. Let them come stay up in there. They said some of them didn't gave them shoes and clothes, and some of them they was running electric cords for electric and all that. Let them people help them people. Let the Puerto Ricans help them. They're Hispanic, and both of them Hispanic. Let them help them. You think if they had dumped black folks off like that the Puerto Ricans and whoever would have helped black people? Because I tell you why. There's homeless black people up there. Anyone helping them? I know there's homeless other people, but they people got to worry about them. But look, don't anyone worry about us, but we're so compassionate. Tell me this: if they had dropped Haitians off like that, would you black people have helped them like that? Cause we love to help these people of other races more than we do our own. We're very compassionate then. Had they been black, would you have done all that for them? Then you had them people up in there, and that's why ICE came up in there. They detained some black people, but they let them go, and they arrested those immigrants, and see they fooled and see how they're treating them like they treat black people. Now they always tell black people, they're sending in extra law enforcement to get the gangbangers and drug dealers and thugs and gangsters and criminals, and then they go after everyone except those people, and they know who they are. They don't come in black neighborhoods for criminals. They come in to harass people and pad their arrest record. Have you noticed most black people that get hurt or unalived by policemen is never in the commission of a serious crime? But yet we all supposed to be gangbangers and drug dealers and thugs. It's always a routine traffic stop. Had you noticed over the past decade or so how routine traffic stops, where they used to just stop you, ask for your license, they get to the place where they want to pull you all out the car and have you sit on the ground in handcuffs and all that. But they used to just ask for your license and check it out and, just a routine traffic stop. They were trying to routine traffic stops, treating you like an enemy combatant. Because they went over to Israel and these policemen are using Israeli Mossad tactics against American citizens, treating you like an enemy combatant. They've been doing that for quite a while. But they were mostly just doing it to black people. See, people always doing brown people. They didn't treat them as bad as they treated black people. And you all know it. Because it was some of the brown people who's helping to, brown cops and all, helping to mistreat black people. They say they got Mexican cops in LA, those Hispanic cops, most of them Mexicans, who brutalized black people in LA. George Zimmerman, who killed Trayvon, who unalived Trayvon Martin. He was Hispanic. But when it came to him against black, he was treated like an honorary white. So let's not get it mixed up. I'm tired of them including people of color with us. We're two completely different people. Because those people have worked against us. They haven't been our allies, and now people in there like as though we're all one united people. No, we're not. We're not united. But look, in Project 2020, getting back to Project 2025, when I read it, and I really looked at it, I read it in a kind of thought, in an emotional way at first. You know about, they just after black people. But when I really read and really looked at it, wait a minute. We're already going through this. This just brings them down to our level. Or close to it. Asians never thought they'd be rounded up. They were supposed to be the darling minority. And one of the worst things they could have done was start calling black people minority. Yeah, but these people they're finding out. That's why it's almost when black people listen to them, talking about what's being done to them and why won't black people help? Well, it's been done to us all the time. It's nothing new for us. And a lot of people say, all he gonna do is talk about Trump and he gonna talk about what's going on with the government. Yeah, this is a serious thing. This is a serious thing. Because when you tune in to a religious broadcast, you talk about religion, right? Well, this is what I'm talking about. We live in this world too. It don't make no difference what you're a Christian or not. You live in this world too, and you subject to these laws and rules also. Even the Bible teaches you that you have to obey these rules and laws here on earth, and you're subject to these governments and the things that they do. You have Christians who get beaten unalive by the police also. You have Christians who get unalive by mobs also. So I'm talking about the things that happens in this world. And when it comes time to talk about religion, talk about God, I do that. But that's not this broadcast. Because many people have said that. Well, like because what I talk about, these are the subjects I talk about, and if you tune in, that's what you're going to hear about. Sometimes you'll hear about other things, but we got a lot of stuff going on. Now I put up my Cash App and my PayPal. Someone takes me to my, why you putting that up? You're begging. That's the way you do it on a podcast. If you look at the major podcasts, that's what the Don Lemon, Roland Martin, they have their Cash App, PayPal. That's what you get. That's what you do on a podcast in the 21st century. Why are black people always worried about how another black person gets some money? You don't worry about how these white folks get their money. You'll give it to them with no problem. I can't even get you to like and share my stuff. That's free. Or subscribe. That's free. So don't tell me what to do with my stuff. You can watch or not watch, Because Then because I don't need nobody to tell me what to talk about. But one thing though, don't meet me in the street. A lot of people try to talk about this stuff with me when they see me. I don't talk about this when I'm off of here. I don't talk about Trump and none of that stuff. That's what this is for. I don't eat, sleep, and drink this stuff. I got a life. That's why I can get along. If I got a relative that's mad, I can get along with them because I'm not gonna talk this stuff with them. I really don't talk with anyone when I'm not on here. Now I bring some guests on. We talk about this is a job for me. This is work for me. This is what I do. Broadcasting. Do you take your work home with you? Talk about it 24/7. But I see people try to get me to talk about it all the time. I'm not going to talk about this all the time. I'm not going to do it because but getting back to my subject, I just had to get that little soapbox in there. But Project 2025, it was meant to destroy us. One thing I will say good about what's happening, the reason that hurting us is bad. During this reconstruction, you have many white people who are not going along with it like they did then. See, even if they don't have the Bill of Rights, they still operating like it's still there. They're not resegregating. Even they say one time Trump even mentioned something about separate water fountains. I wouldn't care. Separate bathrooms. I wouldn't care. Maybe things be clean and white guys walking out there not washing their hands, and some of you black guys getting just as bad as them. I really wouldn't care. I know many may, and if you do, that's fine, but it wouldn't make me no difference. Just keep build our own up and keep our own clean. It wouldn't be a good thing, but if they did, it wouldn't make me any difference. Cause we're gonna live on anyway. They're gonna have the problems, not us. They're having the problems now. See all the whining they're doing? So why come black people not suffering? You're just going through what we already been through. And show you how dirty and low down you are. You want us to suffer. You want us to suffer. Even the Hispanics say wanted us to be deported. That's why them say they voted for it was let me see what's it was the Jamaicans, the Haitians, the Cubans, and the Africans. I'm not gonna sort through them which one it was. I'm just saying what nationality they were. They got to sort through themselves because people don't sort through us. But look, they were the ones who said we thought that the people being deported, the immigrants being deported, was going to be black people sent to Africa. See how stupid that was? We're not immigrants. You immigrate to a nation. This wasn't even a nation when we help with the foundation of this nation. But you FAFO, didn't you? And now you're out of here. Now we're supposed to cry for you when everyone voted. Everyone I know that voted MAGA was voting to hurt someone else. I thought he was going to do this to this person. That one Hispanic guy said, "Oh, I voted for Trump because I wanted to see the liberals cry." Now he's crying and thinks somebody's supposed to shed a tear for him. I wouldn't even hand him a piece of tissue. I just don't feel sorry for people who tried to hurt us. The white farmers going through what the black farmers always been through. Now we're supposed to feel sorry for them? And they did everything they could to keep the black farmers to block the black farmers from getting money that they had already gotten. I don't know why the government went along with that. And then when they was losing their crops, some of them were talking about burning down the black farms. Every time black people start prospering, they want to burn it down. They haven't changed. Don't that sound familiar? Burning down black economic progress. It's happened before. Rosewood, Tulsa, and many other areas in this nation, including some cowboy towns out west. Many black people moved out west to get away from all of this. Prospering, they burnt it down. Anytime black people start prospering, you interfere. None of yours being is not being physically burnt down, or none of yours being destroyed. We supposed to come help you? Be concerned about your tears? Because you're getting ready to go through what we've always been through? We're supposed to care? Is that what you're saying? Just tough it out. We did. But see, the problem is we have nothing to do with what you're going through and about to go through. It's just starting. But you had something to do with what we've been through. All the different races yet. I'm not certain who person to person. I don't know. I got to go by the general consensus of the majority. You did things to hurt us. And we've done nothing to hurt you. And now that you're hurting, all we can say is nah, 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 nah. Well, that's all I say. The others may have compassion on you. Black folks always have compassion for other people. We just don't have it for each other. I don't have any. You did all this stuff against us, now it's coming back on you. And all I can say to you, MAGA folks, you say, make America great again. America's not great. If you don't like it, leave it. Go back to Europe. You notice how they never talk about going back to Europe. They rather start some little hick towns, build some log cabins, some more white only, like black, like somebody else want to come there and live in their log cabins and raise goats with them. You notice all those sundown towns and all white towns is towns that even other white people don't want to live in. Black people don't even know what sundown towns are at because they're usually towns black people don't go to anyway. Have you ever noticed every town say they don't want black people? They don't want black people there. Black people already segregated themselves from those towns. Come on, they wouldn't be caught in those towns in the daytime, let alone at night. Most white people don't want to be around those towns, let alone black people. But look, they oh, I lost my train of thought. But look, they're trying to try to talk about something about bringing back segregation. I always had segregation. If you notice, black people and white people only mostly be around each other around large metropolitan areas. And the ones who talk the most trash about black people are the ones who don't even be around or live around black people. So you don't have to worry, don't worry about have your little towns. We need ours. We need to do the same thing. But only you black people I don't understand about you. You talking about some went and bought I think it was like acres of land to build their own community. You got these black cities like East St. Louis, Illinois, Washington Park, Brooklyn, and all around the country. You can buy. They got all type of land. You can come buy that land and build your community. Get permission to gate it off if you want to from the city. We need to build up our population in these black towns. We've lost a lot of population. East St. Louis got a good school district too. So is Madison. All of them, Cahokia, they have good school districts. Come to these black towns and build your community. But you don't think like that, do you? You think about buying something from white folks all the time. Maybe the city give you some tax incentives or something. Work out something with you. And we need to build up our population. We need to build it back up. We can't do it by ourselves. I'm going to take a quick break for about 60 seconds and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, but what I was saying, um, black people have been through so much. That's why all these different projects are not hurting us much. And but the difference with this one is hurting everyone. Oh, we're gonna go through some hardships. Not it's not hitting us as hard because you know we toughed it out before. We're used to it. See, white privilege is not white privileging like it used to. Brown privilege. They used to have brown privilege now. You better talk to black people right in these stores. You foreigners before we call ICE on you. And I do it. Oh, that's petty. Well, I can be petty if I want to. And see the but cause now they doing stuff to white folks and everybody else that they did to black people. They gotta be dragging white people all on the ground, beating white women, knocking them upside the head. That was a white priest they shot in the head with that that pepper bullet is not deadly, but it injures you. And he hit him 7 more times in his body. And from the video, like it just hit him in the head, but I guess it spreads out. But you see, that's the type of stuff they should just do to us. And others, oh, you should have complied. That priest was, when they shot that priest and they hit that pepper bullet, he had his hands up and praying for the people. Well, he wasn't complying. There was nothing for him to comply to. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you how they treating these white people like black people. See, these policemen have a way when they say he's not complying. You know why they put that pressure on you? They put their knee in your back and they have ways of putting pressure on your body that makes you move. So they can say you're not complying. They learned all that from the Israeli Mossad. They went over there and then they came back here and taught it. When I was living in LA, there was police out there was practicing their new techniques on black people who they just stopped to talk to. See, all this is nothing new for us. It's new for you. Like I said before, most of the black people who get arrested or unalived by the police is usually over little minor traffic stops, really. And you can tell the ones because they come at the black people. already ready to go. And you know another thing they do, they study. They know black men don't like people grabbing on them and putting their hands all over them. Black people really. So that's why they do it, to try to enrage you. But now these Latinos and these white folks, they just knocking them all around like it's nothing. And don't care who see it. Kicking them, and they don't be doing anything. Don't that sound familiar? During the civil rights movement, the black people just wanted to march to the courthouse to pray or to register to vote. They had dogs sitting on them, bitten by dogs. They had the fire department out there with water cannons, spraying them with water cannons. Couldn't have gotten any more peaceful than want to go to the courthouse, kneel down and pray or to register to vote. Couldn't have been any more peaceful than that. But now everyone else is seeing how it feels. All these be on social media clowning us, so it's just some of them on there doing that because it's coming out in a lot of them. They haven't been touched yet, but believe me, it's coming your way. All this stuff you're on there talking about, get them cops, where's the mace and all that. Oh, yeah, it's coming your way too. Don't think you're exempt. It's coming your way. But this Project 2025 is in effect. You're ready, you'll know just all the stuff you see happening is in there. And it's not really as bad for us as you think it is. Ask most people who've read it, most black people who read it and know what they're reading. They tell you this is really affecting them more. Well, I'm not going to hold you long tonight, but I thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate everyone who tunes in. But hit the like and subscribe for me on YouTube and on Facebook also. So thank you for tuning in. I'm not going to hold you long tonight. I'm Larry Duncan Allen. This is No More Water. Fine. I didn't cut all this off. Bye next time. Thank you for tuning in. Good night.